shows how deep this hypnosis is that we're in. It's so deep that most don't even know it's a hypnosis. They think if you're talking about the hypnosis that you're hypnotized. Most of us only know this physical body. We think that that's the beginning and the end because we can see it, we can feel it and touch it, and we can see other bodies. And second, this isn't like widespread knowledge. Where are you you don't learn this in school or in college or anywhere. You don't see it in commercials and generally on TV. Sometimes they make some good movies. You got to see Powder and What Dreams May Come and Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. That was good. There's some movies, some higher level directors, but still, for the most part, it's a very, very small percent that you're going to hear about this kind of knowledge. It's not opinion, it's knowledge. Those who know about this generally are yogis or people who have dedicated their life to self-realization, not because they're making some noble choice, because they can't help it, they're compelled to. And some people who've had some near-death experiences, some people who've done plant medicine, they can get a little taste. You can get a little taste like, whoa, there's something beyond this realm. Oh yeah, you sure? Maybe it's just your brain thinking that. No, bro, there's something higher than the brain for sure. The brain's like a piece of flesh. The brain, left to its own self, it can't work. There has to be higher forces that are allowing the brain to work. The brain's like a footprint of higher energies and forces that are being allowed to come through. So then you can say the physical body is more like a translator for these higher forces in your higher bodies and higher energies. The brain, the nervous system, the chemistry that comes from your endocrine glands, that's an expression of these higher forces that are already coming through. So we want to talk a little bit about that today, because the last few videos that I made, this might help kind of tie it all together. But still, we're talking 20 minutes or something. That's nothing. These are huge subjects, and you have to do your own, I was going to say study, but better experience. When you experience these realms, even if it's just once, even if it's one time, it gives you, it organizes things. Then all of a sudden, maybe things that you've read in books, all of a sudden now they come to life. You're like, oh, I know what he's talking about. This is real. I've experienced that. In your own way, you have your own words, and you might convey that. Actually, all the religions, all the spiritual practices, all this stuff, if you extracted real essence, they're all saying the same thing. That's why I can read anything, and I can find like, okay, this is, you know, if you can cut through the manipulation and the edits and the revisions and the translations that human brains have done to the work that mystics have tried to share, you got to cut through all that to try to extrapolate what the master's really saying. Then you can kind of see how they're all saying the same thing, but in their own different way, because they're playing as an individual archetype with their own individual temperament, and they convey things in the way they convey them. Those who take things too literal, then they don't understand things. How can they say that if they say that, oh, this doesn't make sense? Yeah, it's not supposed to make sense to the mind. You have to go deeper than the mind, deeper than the brain, and that's what we try to do on this channel. So you can say there's one cosmic current, let's say like that. There's only one cosmic current, but it's filtering through these layers of bodies or expressions, from subtle all the way down to grossest and most dense. Physical bodies the most dense. Now I want to simplify and just say, let's say there's the physical body, the astral body, and the causal body. Others you can split that up even more, and you can add the ethereal body and the mental body and the Buddhic body. But like, this isn't some kind of course of like intellectualism, where we can get off on each other and who can spout the most intellectual savvy concepts. Like I'm about trying to simplify things so that it might give some psychological comfort and understanding and help your own process of self-realization. That's the only point of these videos. That's why I could care less about talking about visions and experiences on these planes. I've been to those circles, man, and it like disgusted me. People subtly trying to outdo one another. Who had the highest experience, the most deepest spiritual experience? And yeah, we don't do that here. So let's say there's one cosmic current. Let's say spirit is where it all starts. The absolute, the infinite, God, whatever word you want to use, that's where it all starts. That's formless awareness, pure consciousness. It has no form, no quality. It's not good or bad or nothing. It just is. It's the highest, beyond peace, beyond everything. Now, from there, it starts to manifest because it's creative, but it can't do anything if it's formless. It needs to create a little bit of form and then a lot of form. So let's say then it creates the causal body, which corresponds to the causal world. Everything's dualistic. Anytime you start to create a form, it's going to have duality. That's just the law, positive and negative. Now, on these higher realms, there's less negative and more positive. On the denser realms, there's usually more negative and less positive, unless we're talking about the golden age, but that is not the time we're living in right now. So you have the pure spirit, formless awareness, then it manifests as a causal body. Now, the two sides to that, let's say the causal cause, it's the root karma, root identity, it's thought, it's essence. There's not much happening on that plane. There's no form because it's essence. It's more abstract, it's more symbolic, it's more archetypical. I've been there one time that I can actually remember, and those memories carried back into the physical brain. And so I can attest to that definition of causal. So there's that side of it. It's root, it's essence. Now, there's also a lot of peace, because if you're not caught up in form, you're gonna experience more peace, which is coming from the absolute, because that's its nature. It's just pure. Anything that's pure is pure. The fragrance of that purity is going to be peace. So that comes into the causal. It's the first manifestation. From there, let's say you have astral. That's energetic world. That's the world of emotions and desires and all that. The two sides to that of the astral, the dualistic nature, is that's where, like the negative side is, that's where your anger, your jealousy, desires, cravings, that heavy energy, that's in astral. The lighter side to astral is compassion and love, happiness, lightness, okay? That's astral. Then that trickles down into the physical body, physical world, and then the physical body will translate these higher energies via the brain, the nervous system, the chemistry from the endocrine glands. So that's the, like I said, that's the footprint. That's the translation of your higher nature. It just depends how deep the identity is. Back to the causal, that's where it all starts. How deep the identity is that we have in thinking we're a separate individual self who has to manage and survive, and I gotta control things, and oh no, it's not working out because it's not supposed to on this plane. Otherwise we wouldn't grow. Fighting, resisting, being stuck in a limited body. If one's stuck in that, then it's gonna produce the more negative dualistic side of the astral, which is heavier energy, resentment and depression, or just frustration, because the identity from the causal is strong. You think you're this little body, this limited self, and you need things. I need to feel important. I need people to validate me. I need love. I need to be loved. I need to be healed. It's a difference between like having common sense and wisdom if you have some element that you're open to that being remedied versus I need this. You see? I deeply believe this is who I am, and if I don't heal this, for example, I'm screwed. Okay? That's how it works. Spirit, causal, astrophysical. Now, the consciousness, because of law of evolution, and because it's coded in it to evolve, it starts to get downloads after it's suffered after a certain point. After enough lifetimes of suffering, the higher downloads kick in and say, you know what, this human show don't work. It's just not gonna work. I made a video a long time ago. Human life doesn't work. It was funny. That was when I realized there's people who don't actually watch people's videos. They're just so bored with themselves. They have to they watch a bunch of videos and then they just comment. They just need to express themselves somehow. So, because they have no creative outlet, so they go to people's videos, and based on the title, they'll leave a comment. Because I was getting these comments saying, you have to work though in human life. How do you get money? I'm like, what are they talking about? Why are they? Because the video had nothing to do with working. That was just the title. Human life don't work, meaning no matter how good you try to organize everything, ultimately it's gonna crash. It's not gonna work because it's not supposed to. But they're talking about like work, like employment. And then I realized, oh right, they don't watch the video, they're just like bored. They just want to talk or comment. Anyway, I didn't digress, did I? So at some point, your spiritual tendencies start to activate, and you may find yourself being more open and willing to investigate prayer and meditation or spiritual practice. Depending on your temperament and character and time, it changes. What's good today and is really working, maybe tomorrow it's going to change. We don't know. You got to follow the seasons of the consciousness. Be flexible. It's a huge, underrated spiritual principle. But you'll find yourself being more open to these metaphysical orientations instead of being solely focused on like material stuff and how to use that to make you feel better. You like burn through that. You realize, oh yeah, that's not where it's at, man. I'm just in a hamster wheel. If I keep doing that, I need to find something that's beyond all this. And so then you might start investigating prayer and meditation, spiritual practice. Okay, that will help allow access to your higher bodies and higher energies and help dissolve the identity that starts in the causal world, because you'll start to recognize something. The source will start to come through. You'll start to reckon the source is already in you, but it like touches, somehow it starts to wake up. You start to feel, whoa, I'm actually not a body. My true essence actually is formlessness, not as a concept, but you just somehow feel like, how can I be a form? I'm presence, I'm awareness. That's here. That's like, this body's engulfed in that, but I'm that. You see? You can call that a spiritual practice. That will start to activate more. So then there'll be more higher alignment in organization between these three bodies, and you'll start to enjoy the fruits of being tapped in, dialed into your higher nature, your higher self, your higher bodies. And then the physical body will manifest that via the nervous system will be more relaxed. Higher secretions of chemistry will be released through your system, a more pure grade of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. It won't be this lower level grade of dopamine that just causes you cravings to intensify and you need more and more. No, this is a different level of secretion of dopamine and serotonin and other chemistries. Ask the scientists. We have all different kind of chemistries, but depending on what's being channeled through, will determine what chemistry gets produced. I've always known the brain in the body isn't responsible for my thoughts and my feelings and emotions and all this intangible stuff. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I just knew, like, there's no way. There's no way. I just didn't know. I didn't know. All I knew is that wasn't true, but I didn't know anything more than that. I had to evolve. I had to have certain experiences, and then things started to come together. Okay, now the physical level, because we're talking about how the causal and how the astral, the higher dimensions can come through into the physical. The physical can also activate those higher dimensions because everything's interconnected. If I'm sitting here and some gangbangers ran through the woods with machine guns and they're like pointed at me, the instinct of the human software instinct, that's going to activate some adrenaline. That adrenaline in this intensity that the body's experiencing, that's going to activate the astral emotion of fear. That's going to activate also on a causal level, it's going to strengthen the identity. I'm a separate self. I'm somebody. I need to survive. That's okay. I'm just saying it can go both ways. But the lower self, or the human body, it's still inferior compared to the higher bodies. The higher bodies doesn't need a human body to live, to survive, to exist. We find that out when we leave the body. And you can find that out if you leave the body via some astral projection in whatever way. But the physical body needs the astral body and causal body. The brain, all this meat, this whole body's a meat outfit. That wouldn't work unless there was a counterpart behind that with the life force, which is in astral body, that's supplying the juice and current to the physical body so that it can live. Or you can call it prana if you want. Without that, the physical body, you just go look at a corpse. That's what it is. The astral body has already left that physical body because it's deemed useless now. It can't, and so the physical body's done. Oh, cheat codes. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So, you have pills. These are cheat codes of like affecting either the physical chemistry to allow the higher effects of our more subtle bodies to come through, or it, you can say, loosens the filter. It loosens the, you see, there's filters in place for good reason. If this is the thing with some of the people who have severe schizophrenia or some really intense mental health problems, their karmic destiny is such the filter is loosened too much, and so the astral self, the lower astral self, is coming through too much. And they're seeing things and hearing things, and sometimes though it's not the astral self, it's the nervous system that's just mimicking. This stuff's so complex. I mean, sometimes I wonder why I even talk about it, but some of you can extract what you need out of it. Oh yeah, cheat codes. So there's certain pills that you can take. I can't call it medicine because anything that has too many like side effects and that makes you worse in the long run, or makes you addictive, or you start to build a tolerance to, and then you need more and more. Yeah, I don't dismiss them. There's situations where people need them. One person asked me, many people have asked me, but when somebody does ask me, hey, should I like take this stuff, whatever synthetic drug it is, I say you take it if you absolutely need it. If you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else, okay, you might need to take it. If we're talking about mind, mood pills, it's different. If you're missing your thyroid and you need a hormone supplement for that to live, that's okay. If you a type 1 diabetic and you need insulin, that's different. But that kind of chemistry, I've found doesn't have as many side effects as if I'm taking the mind and mood altering chemistry. That stuff, like, oh, I can't pay attention in college. I want to focus more. Here, take this pill. Okay, wow, I can focus now. That stuff, yeah, careful. So we have pills that can loosen the filter, psychedelics, meditation, fasting. I've used all that. Yep. I have experience with all that. I was going to say, which one's my favorite? I don't have a favorite. I have this to say, though, about it. Careful when you're excessive about anything. If you want to take a pill as a one-off time because you're in an emergency or something, okay, so be it. Psychedelics, also, they can give great insight, but if you do too much, it rats out your nervous system and causes more destabilization instead of stabilization. Fasting, same thing, man. Those who read my True Health book, I just was so excessive with water fasting and dry fasting, even worse, because I was addicted to the euphoria and to being aware of these subtle realms. It was so easy. If you're when you have no food, no drink in your system and you're relaxing, once you get through, if you have any darkness to purge and all that stuff has to come out, then if you do an extended fast or if you take psychedelics, it's like tapping into the subtle worlds is just a lot easier. And so I was having fun with that for a while at the expense of like hurting my physical body. Physical body couldn't take it. It's too much current. Later I learned I have to respect and maintain this vehicle. This requires different maintenance than the astral body and causal body. Like I can burn this thing up if I'm not careful. So I chilled. So I don't want to do that anymore. But can these things be beneficial? The fasting and also I forgot to say excessive meditation also that can make the nervous system really restless. I went through that stage too. Balance, okay, everything, balance. So can these things actually be beneficial in loosening the filter and allowing higher downloads and access to your higher bodies? Yeah, if it's done in balance. If the result or effect, you're left with a greater sense of lightness or love or compassion or peace, yeah, then that's good. That was God used that as a tool to help accelerate evolution or give you some insight. It's okay. If it starts wearing you down and then making you more restless, making you more edgy, then you got to look at that. I wish I had somebody tell me those things because I was just tearing it up too much. And with my Vata nature and go get 'em attitude, I could really just destroy this body and not even know it in the name of good, in the name of like, I'm trying to wake up. So I know there's other people like that out there because I can tell in the comments you resonate with what I'm saying. So lastly, in summary, the body, this physical body, is actually where you can say our invisible life shows up. It's not the source of our life. It's like if you're playing checkers or something. This body's just a board. The pieces are being moved and the person behind it's the mover. You have all that going on. The board is like just the board. It's like the physical body. It's like the lowest and last layer of expression. But most think that's all there is. They think this is it. This is, I was talking to my friend, like how it just, sometimes it's depending on what angle you want to look from, everything's just kind of stupid. The discussions that a lot of people have and what we think's important, you gotta get these gains, and I need more money and I need to, oh, she didn't look at me, maybe there's something wrong with me. All this stuff is just silly. It's so silly. Oh, I don't know, I'm getting wrinkles now, oh my God. Yeah, it's just silly. So those of you who have burnt out on that already, to where that's not even a thing anymore, where you're just using the rest of this life for self-realization because You want to get as high as you can, not in an obsessive way, because then you go backwards. You just see clearly, like, this is what my life is for this. My life is for recognizing who I truly am. Yeah, those beings, I think you appreciate these videos. And like I said, I think in my last video, when I'm talking, you're in my mind. This is what allows me to talk unhinged, unedited. And that's why I enjoy. I don't like being edited. I don't like to have to cap myself, you know. Oh, they might get offended or feel bad. I'm not trying to offend people. It's just like if it's real simple. If something's not for you, don't watch it. I don't watch anything, actually. I think I'm gonna get into that in my next video. You start to want to preserve your life force more. You just watch where you put your energy and how you waste it and spend it. Do you really want to be spending it in the way you're spending it right now? Have that question with you as you go through your day and you do what you do and you talk to who you talk to. Is this actually good for a good way to spend my life force? Or am I just like wasting it? It's like, that's why I don't like scrolling and watching too many movies. It's like, I'd rather read autobiography of a yogi. I'll just read it over and over again. That's a much better use of my time. Or lay down and do some asanas or something. I don't like to plug into the artificial world of this, you know, so many people are stuck, man, in the scrolling dopamine addiction. Yeah, you just got to hit bottom with that. What can I say? All right, I'm out. I'll see you guys.